Harper was our daughter. She was born with a rare genetic disorder called CDKL5.
Harper was a sassy, spunky little girl, typical 5-year-old. She had a great personality. She was funny, sarcastic.
Okay, baby, it's okay, it's okay. It's okay, it's okay.
The biggest issue with CDKL5 was epilepsy. She would have up to 45 seizures a day at the worst, and 5 to 10 at the best when she was first born. It was rough. I mean, it was a tough existence for her.
It's challenging. It's beyond challenging. It's life-changing. You spend a lot of time crying. I've never been to hell, but I would describe it as living hell.
CDKL5 was so rare at the time when she was diagnosed. It took 9 months to figure out the diagnosis. There's nothing specific to hey, CDKL5, take this pill. It's, let's manage your symptoms. Did a research, which means Google search, for 5 minutes. It's one of the first things that popped up.
Real scientific hemp oil from Hemp Meds. It's a CBD oil made from the hemp plant, but it is a dietary supplement that happens to have a medicinal benefit that we found. But within the first 3 days, we noticed that her seizure activity declined. The first week, it had cut in half. And then after 6 months of using it, she had her first, she went with no seizures. And then 45 days, she kept going, no seizures, no seizures, no seizures. So basically the last 2.5 years of her life were essentially seizure-free, visibly seizure-free. And that's when we really got to see who Harper was. Without that product, we still wouldn't know. It was devastating. It was unexpected, yet expected. Every year she ended up in the hospital. Every year a cold took her there. It was respiratory. So when she went into the hospital for her cold, we just expected it to be like every other year. And we packed our bag and got everything situated, and we expected to come home until a day into it when nobody left her room. There was always a medical staff in her room. Our hearts sunk. We really, I think, realized for the first time she wouldn't be coming home. And we didn't tell anybody we wanted to donate her organs to research until then, because we didn't want to feel like we were letting her go or telling her to leave or telling her we didn't want her anymore. So I remember telling the doctor we were donating her organs to scientific research, and we had a number that we needed to get in contact with, and he said, well, let's try this, so hopefully we don't have to do that. And then I remember telling them, if she's gonna die, we want to hold her. And he said, okay. And so they did everything that they could. They were doing CPR on her, which was horrible to watch. And then they stopped. They simultaneously pulled 21 ports out of her body at one time, scooped her up and gave her to Dustin and I, and left the room.
We had her brain donated to the Harper Brain Bank. Then also we had some skin biopsies donated for research as well. And what that allows them to do is grow stem cells and then reprogram those cells into whatever kind of cells they want. And then they can study. And the significance behind that is that they'll get to form little miniature brains, and then once they get to a point where they can look at them and they can compare them to her actual brain tissue, which is at the Harper Brain Bank, which is huge. So it's the first CDKL5 brain that was ever donated.
It was a way for Harper to have a legacy so that she could continue to help others in a bigger way and make an impact. And that's what it was about. Now I think that within our lifetime, we will see benefit to her disorder and many others based on what Harper, the gift that Harper left.